We're live on the outskirts of the capital, Budapest, at a track that's extremely popular with both the fans and our drivers. I'm talking, of course, about the Hungaroring, and we're about to begin the Hungarian Grand Prix. 14 corners then for our drivers to navigate at the 2.7-mile Hungaroring today. It's 6 lefts and 8 rights around a lap here, with average speeds in the region of 120 miles per hour.
Good evening, race fans. Apologies for the delay with the commentary. My daughter picked up away from straight from school and she was just getting picked up right slap bang when we start racing. How inconsiderate. Anyway, so it is wet quali, but fortunately a dry race this evening. We're at the Hungary Ring. This is season 5, round number 2 of the Smoking Pirellis Racing Club Thursday Tier 1. These are the creme de la creme of the Smoking Pirelli drivers. Well, some of them are. I'll tell you the ones that aren't. I'm only joking. No, this is the creme de la creme. You did see earlier, I did pop up the results from Imola and the current standings. Let's do it again and go through it quickly. We've got a few people out in a minute. Go through who's who. I'm sure some people are going to crash because it's a wet quali. But there was the... that's the driver championship stands after the result with Imola. Rose, great result from Rose, the Red Bull. KVI Tony, new driver, Alfa Romeo 44 points. Muli in Ferrari 40 points. Big balls for Aston Martin 37 points. Tom Go Prof, despite his big resurgence at the end of last season to chuck himself right up the leaderboard, finds himself back in 5th after race number 1. But plenty to race for this season. We're only on race number 2. So we're at Hungary Ring. As I said, it won't be a wet race, it'll be a dry race. There we go, Rose already demonstrating why he won in round number 1. That's a 31.8, fastest lap. Immediately though, beaten by Skills Dan. Great lap from Skills Dan, a 31.6. That's a pretty darn quick wet lap here. So, for runners and riders, let's go through everybody we've got out there today. So, Skills Dan is racing for Williams Racing, currently on pole. Rose for Red Bull in the Red Bull. I don't know why I'm saying that twice. We've got Binks for Alfa Romeo. Jinxie for Aston Martin, currently on the second row. KVI Tony, second last time out. Currently sitting 5th, row 3 in the Alfa Romeo. So the 2 Alfa Romeos already demonstrating some quick lap times. Now, really important, especially when you've got wet quality, that you get out there and get a time on the board, because it can go horribly wrong very, very quickly. I've said this before, right? If you're going to have a race commentator, don't have such long, crazy names. Cordonu Andre. I'll call him Andre. That's it, it's Andre. Don't care. That's your name. Your name is not Andre. Komzar, where's Komzar gone? Komzar is there. Komzar in the Alpha Tauri. This is why I do this before qualifying, because if people don't keep jumping in. Wasted. There is Wasted. What is Wasted? Wasted in the McLaren, of course. And talking of McLaren, there is the lead McLaren right out on pole position. 1:31.0. Tom Go Prof. Tom Go Fast. Who have we not done yet? Who's that just jumped in there? Someone's jumped in there. Skills down. Jinxie in the Mercedes-Benz, isn't he? No, he's not. He's in the Aston Martin. Talking absolute rubbish. Moikuli. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce the bloody thing. Moikuli's in the Ferrari, of course. Komzar in the Aston. He's not in the Aston Martin. He's in the AlphaTauri. Super Calgon makes washing machines last longer, of course. Everyone knows that he makes washing machines last longer. Super Calgon. There he is. Super Calgon is in the Mercedes-Benz. Jay Hartnell out on track in the Alpine. Rapid F1. And we know that he's rapid and drives F1. He's in the other Mercedes-Benz. J. Joe Lancer. We saw J. Joe on Tuesday. Out there again in the Alpine. Big balls in the Aston Martin. Not come out yet, but it looks like about to exit for Aston Martin. Nat Packers still to put in a lap in that Haas. Hopefully we'll get one on the board soon. We're already halfway through qualifying. Really throws you off when shit happens and you actually expect it. Jesper in the Ferrari is running number 18 in, but on a it looks like a hot lap at the moment. And Tristan, last but of course not least, There is shit. Well, why is that not doing what I wanted to do? Bullcraft. Tristan, last but not least, of course, in the Williams racing car. So he just threw me right out. TJ, hey there, buddy. Looking forward to rivals tonight, mate. So we've got this, and then straight up afterwards, as soon as this is finished, in less than an hour's time, really, we'll be starting again for the Black Flag Rivals. It is the fantastic Lancer Evo versus the just as good Subaru WRX. Head-to-head team competition. It is car versus car, man versus man, woman versus TJ. And I'm only joking, TJ. I'm only joking, buddy. No, it's going to be good. Several competitions involved: individual team competition, constructors competition, and reserves can score points for the constructors as well. The team and the constructors are slightly different. I will explain. If you're watching later, I'll explain it later. But for now, it is F1 time. And at the moment, so this is how we're looking. Rose back on pole position. First one to go sub 31. It's Rose on pole. Alongside him is Tom Go Prof in second place. Row 2 is Skills Dan with Binks. And row 3, that's Jojo Lancer with Stomper. Sounds like a character out of Mario, doesn't it? Jinxie and Andre, they're both on row 4. Row 5 is Tony. Top 3 last week, of course. Alongside Wasted, Jay Hartnell and Comzar, row 6. And Muikuli is heading up row 7. Nobody else yet has registered a time. Supergirl, some quick drivers out there, still not put a time in. Rapid F1, Tyler, Natpackers, Jesper, Tristan, Super Calgon, Big Balls, all still need to put a time in. And there's some potential championship contenders in there that on this wet qualifying have not yet stuck a lap up on the board. So it'd be interesting to see if they going to have any problems. We've got a yellow flag in sectors 2 and 3. I think that's more about cars moving over than any problems, to be honest with you. Right, who's going to give me a representative quick lap? Who's coming round? It's one of the Mercs by the looks of it. Where's Super Cow got on rapid? We've got Natpackers in the Haas. Yeah, let's go on board with Natpackers. Here we go. Here is a lap round the Hungary ring in the rain. Up past the pit lane. It's a big right-hand turn here, and in the rain, this is tricky as hell. Pretty quick when the track is dry, of course. And then you sweep round to the right-hand side, keeping to the right of the track for this left hand, dropping down to third line and drop down to second gear, in fact. Just to get the rotation through there. And that's more to do with the rain. You can go through there again a lot faster when it's not wet. You head down, you've got a little jink to the right hand side before this left turn, which is just really a mere brake and lift. And mere brake and lift here really is not quite so slow as the previous corners. Then you head down, big right hander here, into the left hander. So it's a nice little chicane there before you've got left, followed by almost an immediate right, almost another chicane before the track opens out, sweeps round to this left hand side, sweeps round to the right hand side, both not quite at full pelt but not far off it, and before you head down into sector 3, and then you've got this big kind of like a horseshoe kind of switchback. You go to the right, you head round, you sweep round this kind of, it's almost a double apex turn into where the pit lane is, just on your right hand side. If you're not pitting, you stay left, you get on that power as soon as you dare, and off you go. That is a lap completed. What's Natpacker's going to put on the board? Is that going to be better than the 31 one she's already done? Well, that's the 31-1, so that's not bad at all. That's second row. Second row for Natpackers. But Rose just getting faster and faster and faster. This guy, phenomenal rate. The first time I saw Rose was, I think he was a stand-in in the final race of the season for season 4. And absolutely blew the field away. Same again last week. Super quick in that Red Bull. Rapid F1. The name says it all. And actually, this is not a name that's ironic. He is actually rapid as half a second, though, slower than Rose at the moment. Tongo Prof massive resurgence at the end of last season that dragged him into that top 3. His second half of the season for season 4 was phenomenal. Really brought it to the big boys, and up into 3rd place. Rapid F1, of course, is the reigning Smoking Pirellis champion. Tyler has gone faster than Tom Prof and got himself onto the 2nd row with a 31.0. So only 2 drivers so far have dipped below that 1:31 target. And that is Roseanne Rapid, of course. Then we look outside the front 2 rows. Row 3, Nat Packers alongside Skills Dan. Very close, only a couple of hundredths a couple of tenths between them. Binks and Coms are on row 4. Literally 800ths of a second between them two. Then we've got Wasted, who's 7,000ths of a second difference between being on row 4 and being on row 5, as he's right now. KVI Tony, 1,000th of a second difference between himself and Wasted. That's a really... I mean, to be fair, we know that with these guys, you're always going to get really, really close times. It is 2.6 seconds between Rose in 1st and Jay Hartnell in 16th. If you take Jay Hartnell out of the equation, it is less than 2 seconds difference. 1.7 seconds between 15th and 1st. And in the scheme of things, I mean, people say 1.5 seconds in Formula 1 is loads. It's not that much, really, when you're talking about kind of sim racing. You often see in sim lobbies differences of sort of 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. And so to see a field that is that closely matched, and you'll see it in the racing. You'll see that anybody on their day can win a race. Yes, it's a little bit different. We're talking about a wet qualifying here, which is always going to mix things up a little bit. But we've managed to make it almost a full 18 minutes without anybody crashing out, which in itself is an achievement. And you won't see that very often anywhere else in Formula 1 racing. Usually the only time you'll see such quality, particularly on here on Black Flag TV, is by checking out this Tier 1 Thursday lot for Smoking Pirellis. They really are the bees and knees, as Jack Black would say, or the mutts nuts, depending on who you're asking. I apologise for the noise in my background. My daughter's still hyped up after having her friend over, despite the fact that she's actually supposed to be grounded. But we'll talk about that later. So, just Big Balls and Tristan. We'll let him off the fact he's a Liverpool fan. Just those two left to set a lap. I tell you what, it's very brave coming out with 1 minute 52 to go on a wet track, having not yet put a time on the board. Very, very brave indeed. They've got time to get round and obviously set a fast lap, but it's like a one-shot qualifying. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be... Well, I'm not very good anyway, but I wouldn't be one-shot qualifying in the wet, certainly. So we'll find out where those two will slot in soon. But out front, no change on front row. The front row is Roseanne Rapid. Row 2, Binks and Tyler. Tongo Prof knocks down to row 3 alongside Nat Packers. They've had some great battles over the last few races, those two. So 5th and 6th for them. Starting on row 3. Row 4, Moikuli and Skills Dan. Row 4, there we go. Comes on, Wasted on row 5. Tony, JJ Lance on row 6. Stomper and Super Calgon. They are on row 7. Jinxie with Andre on row, where are we? Row 8. Row 9 is Jay Hartnell. Jesper happy with that 39 too, and has gone for a little wee. That part may or may neither of the statements may or may not be true. Big Balls is currently on a hot lap. Let's see. I mean, look at the state of that. That is wet as. That is wetter than a minge at a bukkake party. And I'll tell you what, that is crazy trying to get the car around in these conditions. On a normal F1 track, they would safety car this shit and make you wait in the pits. So at least we are getting some cars going out. So there we go. What is that? That's for Big Balls. That's a 1:35.2. I think Big Balls is capable of a little bit more than that, but it is what it is. Tristan, not going to set a time. Spinny. And Tristan, you can't par that there, mate. So Tristan will not set, well, he will set a time. It just won't be a very good one. And that will see him right, oh my days. Oh my days, it's all over. It's all over for Tristan. That is a wall. I've already told you, mate, you can't park that there. So absolutely bin that Williams. He will start plumb last. So here is your official lineup for the race day at Hungary. And remember, it will be a dry race. It's not very wet quality. It will be Rose and Tom Go Prof on the front row. Binks, one last opportunity for Binks to get on the front row. Does Binks do it? So Rose has finished. Rose will not improve. What about Binks? Can Binks put themselves on the front row, or will Rose have two pole positions from the first two races? And see Binks backing out of that lap. So it is Rose, Tom Go Prof, Binks in third, Rapid F1 is in fourth. Row 3 with JJ Lancer and Jinxie. Row 4, Jay Hartnell with KVI Tony. Tyler on row 5, Nat Packers. Is Nat Packers going to improve that time? Does Nat Packers stay on row 5? Yes, but jumps Tyler, goes ahead into 9th place. Skills Dan and Moy Quilly are on row 6. Moy Quilly the lead of those two cars. Comzar and Wasted row 7. Stomper, Rumper Stomper. And Super Calgon are on row 8. Row 9 is Andre and someone else, and there's a couple of other people at the back. But there you go, Super Calgon, 16th place. So that is the wet portion of the proceedings over and done and dusted. Nat Packers set that time on intermediate tyres. Now, let's be clear about something. That was wet as shit. That was wet tyre weather. That was not intermediate tyre weather, that. So that makes that 130.987. Only 7,000 slower than KVI Tony. A pretty darn quick time. So, full rundown is going to be Rose Tom Go Prof from the Netherlands. Binks Rapid F1. JJ Lancer from the United Kingdom, from Britain, Jinxie and Jay Hartnell. KVI Tony, that's Finland, Norway, something like that. Nat Packers from the States is 9th. 10th is Tyler, and there's some other people, but we don't care about anyone past 10th. Do it. Of course we do. Of course we do. So, this is season 5, round number 2 of Smoking Pirellis. You may have noticed that Smoking Pirellis now features twice a week on Black Flag Racing TV. Tuesdays, we do the Tuesday Night League. I was going to try and think of something clever to say, but it's just the Tuesday Night League. Well, not just, it's the Tuesday Night League with Smoking Pirellis. Before we move on to late night racing on a Tuesday. And now we do Thursdays. We continue with Thursdays and their Elite Tier 1 races. Before we disappear off here, move back to GT7 for some Black Flag rivals. So technically, they are the second largest contributor now to Black Flag TV, after, of course, Black Flag itself. Yeah. Well, I suppose they are. I was going to say GT Champions or GT Fusion might be, but they, their races are more spread out, so they're still only once a week or once a month or whatever. So technically, yeah, they are the second biggest contributor to Black Flag TV, and long may that continue. Just waiting for all of the people to connect up. Quick look at Constructors Championships. Who needs to get some points today? Williams. They've got none. They need some points. Simple as. Don't be shit. Get some points today, Williams, because you've been shit so far, and you are 70 points behind Red Bull. And I'll tell you what, with the way Rose's driving, Red Bull are looking very, very strong. So we need Williams, we need Mercedes, we need Haas, Alpine, Aston Martin, all in that bottom half. Really put a shovel. Let's close this gap to those guys already pulling away. Let's have it large. Who underperformed last week? Well, clearly Rapid F1. Rapid F1 was a DNF. You don't expect that from your reigning champion. In the Mercedes-Benz as well. So qualified in 10th. Didn't have a great qualifying session either. But still on the play for this only round 2. So still plenty to be getting on with. Rose was qualified 3rd. Won the race last time out. But formation lap ensues. Let's see if we can make it all around the formation lap without somebody bidding it. And let's face it, it's not often. this is probably the only place where we can make it around the entire lap without some billing it at like 3 miles an hour. But there we go. It's a very, very different race with dry tyres on than qualifying was. Qualifying was an interesting thing. I don't think of the right word to say. Yeah, an interesting thing in the wet, but we are now on fully dry tyres. And you may or may not have noticed my little tribute to the legendary guitarist Jeff Beck, who was born locally to me, very local in fact. Same freaking postcode. Obviously, we didn't go to school together or anything. He was significantly older than me, but was an inspirational guitarist. And one of the reasons why I like to play guitar. Badly, I don't play as good as he does. But he died a couple of days ago, and R.I.P. Jeff. And yeah, I'll be rocking out to some Beck later, and I might actually see what the situation is with copyright. And if I can get away with it, as a tribute, I might change our intro music to Jeff Beck for a short period of mourning time. But I've got to find out what the copyright implications is. But I will do that. So it will be Rose from Tom Go Prof. Now we know Tom Go Prof is quick. We know that it's capable of pulling out a result. Rose though, very steady, very clever in terms of strategy as well. Binks and Rapid F1, they're both going to want to make some moves from that second row if they can. Rapid F1's got something to prove after a DNF last week, particularly being the reigning champion. JoJo Lancer and Jinx Eat row 3, row 4 with Jay Hartnell and Tony. Tony was in the top 3 last week, so expect to see him trying to make some moves through. Nat Packers, disappointing 9th qualifying actually, bearing in mind that Nat Packers was finishing the top 3 of the championship last season. Tyler and Moy Colley, 10th and 11th. Skills down. Komzar, whatever his name is. Komzar. Right, let's go on board with Tony and see how everyone gets away. And they are away. We are 35 laps here at the Hungary ring and absolutely getting swamped, Tony. And we see some movement through the order. Look at that. Tony does pick up a bit more pace into turn 1. Is it clean? Yes, it is. Everyone looks like they've got through without too much hassle. Rose already in the lead of this race. We've lost Binks. What happened to Binks? We're not going to get to see Binks at all. Does that bring out a safety car already? That's a big hit. No, it's a virtual safety car. Virtual safety car at this stage. But Binks is already a did not finish. And what a shitty way to go out on lap 1. Wonder what happened to Binks that caused that. But bye Binks. Hello early buff. Right, we move on. Rose is your leader at the moment. Tom Go Prof still in second. Not much chance to you. The Nat Packers has made some big moves forward, as has KVI Tony. Let's have a look at what tyres everyone's running here. Depending on the pace and depending on things like early VSC or full safety cars, will dictate 1 or 2 stop. I think 2 stops probably the slightly better option here, but it's down to driver preference, isn't it? Rose is on the hard compound tyres, so the key for Rose is going to be to try and stay clear of Tom Go Prof, Jay Hartnell, Tyler, all on the medium tyres, and they're going to be looking to capitalise. Those running on the soft, such as Jay Hartnell, Wasted, Big Balls, Jesper, they will, in order to capitalise on using those soft tyres, they're going to need to get ahead and get ahead fast. And Tom Go Prof makes a move on Rose up into the lead of this race. And that's a really good move from Tom Go Prof. Now, what he needs to do is try and get ahead, because at the moment Rose is just crawling all over him. We know how quick Rose can be. So Tom Go Prof needs to capitalise on those softer compound tyres, those medium compounds, which are not going to last him as long, but they are going to give him slightly better traction. Can he pull out a bit of a gap? The ideal for him is that Jay Hartnell just gets bogged down behind, Jay Hartnell gets bogged down. Tyler making the move on Jay Hartnell. So he needs those guys just to get bogged down behind while building a gap of his own. So today, Tom Go Prof is clear. Nat Packers up to 5th place. Who are the big winners and big losers? No penalties so far, no one looking there. So there's your pit strategy. Medium, hard, medium. Or a soft, medium, or a medium, soft, or a medium, soft, medium. Whichever way you want to bang that one out. Position changes. Look at that from Tyler. That is 7 positions gained. And we're already on lap 2. Who else is a big winner? Nat Packers 4 there. Fastest lap for Tongo Prof. As you would expect, being in the lead of this race. And we now have DRS. And this is where Tongo Prof really needs to try and open up the gap. Rose losing a place, of course. Nat Packers up 4. We've got Skills down up 4 places. Wasted also up 5 places. Not also. He is up 5 places. 3 gained for Jay Hartnell. 3 gained for Tony. 3 for Nat Packers. 7 now for Tyler. Up into 3rd place. 6 places gained for washing machines in London. JoJo Lance, a big loser, was 6. Dropping 6 places down. More equally. 1 place drop. Big Balls up 5. Up 5 big balls. Tristan up 6 places, was plumb last. Now in 14th. Stomper started 15th, is 15th. The only driver that is where they started. Andre up 1 place into 16th. Komzar down 4 places. Jesper is up 1, but look at that rapid F1. Horribly wrong again for the championship leader. 14 championship leader, sorry, the reigning champion, the championship leader being Rose, of course, and the reigning champion, he is down in 18th place. 14 places lost. Wasted is 4 seconds back from that, with 5 places lost, and of course we've already lost Binks. And Binks, if you believe it or not, is the noise it makes. You see when you flick a glass. Who's that dropping down the order? That's Jesper dropping down behind Komzar. Yeah, Binks is the noise that a glass makes when you flick it. Wasted into the pits. Is this is it a strategic move, or is it well, it just looks like a tyres move to me. So Tongo Prof is your leader. He's coming out of the pits already. So why was Tongo Prof so wasted? And no, it couldn't be. So Wasted was in the pit. Tongo Prof wasn't in the pit, surely. No, of course not. So yeah, it's just Wasted. I don't know why it was showing Tongo Prof, or maybe I was just looking at it wrong. I generally get things like that wrong. So Tongo Prof is your leader, 1.9 seconds. He now leads from Rose. This is a much better race for Tongo Prof, but it's holding on. That's key. Holding on at this stage. Seeing how long you can drag out those medium compact tyres. Now, obviously, starting on the mediums does give you the option to 1 stop with a quick switch to hard tyres. But if you're challenging for the top 3, you don't want to be finishing this race on hard tyres, particularly when one of your rivals, Rose, is already running those and getting them out of the way. And Rose, it looks like he's going for that 1-stop option by running the hard compact tyre. Of course, the problem with that is that you're kind of committing really early on to a 1-stop when not necessarily might be the best idea further down the line. Me personally, I think you probably would have been better starting on the medium tyres, giving yourself options. So there we go, Rose in 2nd place, 1.1 seconds back out of the DRS zone, of course. But he is in DRS reach of Tyler. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. Apologies for that. I don't know if being told something. Anyway, Tyler is running in 3rd place. It does have the DRS. There's the DRS open. Trying to close up on Rose. It can be a difficult thing to do. Rose is very, very good defensively, as well as aggressively attacking. KVI Tony up into 4th place. Top 3 last time out. So not surprised to see Tony up there. At the moment, 2.5 seconds back from Tyler. But only 4 tenths up from Jay Hartnell, who has lost a couple of places and he's on the soft compound tyres, so really needs to get past Tony, start closing up on that top 3, or it's all going to be for naught going on the soft compound tyre. And I appreciate the stream is a little bit choppy, and I don't know why it's choppy tonight. I have a feeling that everyone is taking the piss with my internet today. But, you know, I'm not getting any error message here, so I'm getting an error message back actually. Let me just see what that problem is. I did have a little fiddle with my settings yesterday to sort it out, but hopefully it's going to stop. I need to kick everyone else up on it. That's what I need to do. So, there is Jay Hartnell running in 5th place. Nat Packers is running in 6th, 2.8 seconds back. And everyone's starting to just open out gaps now and get out of DRS danger. But you generally find once the race settles down early doors, particularly an early sort of safety car or virtual safety car, that they're just kind of settling to a bit of a rhythm before we start to see, like looking after fuel, of course looking after fuel, looking after the tyres, just really trying to get the best out of their strategy. The only ones that really should be pushing are those on the soft compound tyres. Skills Dan is running in 7th place. 1.3 behind Nat Packers. Another one of the hard tyre runners looking to go long and deep. Long and deep, the Skills Dan. Jinxie doing the same thing, going long and deep with 1.5 seconds behind Skills Dan. Super Calgon not out of DRS zone yet. He's on the medium tyres. Those 3 on the hards just in front could be a little bit vulnerable to Super Calgon. JJ Lance only half second back. Maury Cully only 3/10 back. And Big Balls only 2/10 back. So those 4 cars all running some softer compound tyres, particularly Big Balls on the softs. Can Big Balls make the move on Maury Cully and just start pushing a little bit forward with those soft compound tyres? Tristan already up to 13th. And bearing in mind, on the hard tyres, qualified plumb last with a nice little spin for all to see. Has already made his way past a number of drivers. Looking quite quick on 12th now. Big Balls, massive move. Big Balls, look at that. Big Balls up into 10th place now, makes that move on Moy Cully. Tristan makes the move on Moy Cully as well. So Tristan going through. Has Moy Cully got a problem? Because they're dropping down that order. They've lost out the Big Balls and Tristan on this lap alone. Is there an issue with the car? We'll find out. JJ Lance is 2.5 seconds back right now. If we see that close within the next lap or so, we know that Moy Cully has a problem. Does seem to be hanging with Tristan instead. Excuse me. I'll tell you what, guys. I've had an absolute fucking pig of a day. A pig of a day. I might go into it a little bit later. Basically, the guy I worked with waited until we'd fully installed a bath and put the aqua panels on the wall before he decided to fucking chip the level off a brand new steel bath. If I was 15 years younger, I would have fucking caved his hand. No, I'm only joking. If you're listening, Clive, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I was well fucking pissed off when that happened. I'm over it now. I'm not over it. Rose is still in 2nd place, 1.6 behind Tongo Prof. Tongo Prof go fast today. Tongo very fast today. Doing a really, really good job. The Dutchman out in the lead. Just managing that pace. Not pushing too hard, actually. You know, if you're in that scenario, there are 2 things you can do. You can just literally just go balls out, open that gap right out, particularly if you've got the faster tyres, and get yourself, 2, 3, 4 seconds ahead. Tongo Prof is being a little bit more sensible with that. And just managing that tyres, if you're managing that gap, and you don't really see it drop below 1.5 seconds over the course of a lap. And that will be a deliberate act from Tongo Prof. They certainly, I would imagine both him and Rose, and possibly Tyler as well, have a little bit more pace to burn. And are just kind of managing that pace at the moment in order to ensure that come the sort of final quarter of this race, and we're already at lap 10 of 35, and you'll just see them start to ramp up that pace. Fastest lap so far and there are no penalties to speak of. Fastest lap so far is Tom Prof with a 1:19.2. Nobody else sub 120. That was 8 tenths quicker than anybody else on the racetrack. Tyler with a 1:20.01. Rose 1:20.02. 1:20.08 for lap backers. 1:20.8 or 1:20.7 for Skills Dan. Jay Harder way down in 16th, 1:20.3. Wasted, he's at the back of the pack. Now Binks has disappeared, 1:20.7, 1:20.8 for more Quilly just in front. So the pace is all over. And KVI Tony, actually I lied, there is another driver gone sub 120. That's KVI Tony with a 1:19.7. Trying to close up on the back of Big Balls, of course. And who doesn't want to come up behind Big Balls? I don't know if any of you heard that, but that was on Mrs. Background saying television has Big Balls. So if his wife would like in return, 25 quid and some petrol, please. No change out front. It's still Togo Prof from Rose. Tyler and that pack is still running third and fourth, although they're not really racing each other at the moment. The gap between them is pretty darn large. Tyler 4.8 seconds off the back of Rose. That pack is 4.9 seconds down from Tyler. Skills Dan just behind that packers, putting that under a little bit of pressure. And that will, there's the first penalty. That's for Twilight, and that is a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. It's not like you weren't told, my friend. Just getting my orders to let the dog out, because, you know, you've had the dog for 2 years, and I've never forgotten to let the fucking dog out. Thanks for that. Skills Dan coming up behind Nat. I mean, they're both on hard on both sides, and no need at this stage to push. Stomper starts picking up penalties now. We're just coming up to the 1/3 point of the race, and penalties are starting to be collected. You don't really want that at this stage of the race, sitting on a penalty. Let's have a look how big those penalties are. I think it's only with 3 seconds for Tyler and 3 seconds for Romper Stomper. It is 3 seconds each. At the moment, it's not going to cost Tyler anything. If it finishes as it is, Rapid F1 will go in one place. I'll tell you what, I don't know what is going on. Somebody tell me what's going on with Rapid F1 at the moment. Rapid F1 reigning champion, but just cannot seem to get this Mercedes-Benz dialed in. Now, it's equal performance, so it's not that the Mercedes-Benz is rubbish, but it's he's demonstrated basically he's doing what Lewis Hamilton would do if he were driving any other car than the best car in the grid, which is mid-table at best. But we know Rapid F1's better than that, and we have to wonder why Rapid F1 seems to be off form at the moment. Of course, there's a DNF last week. This week, way down in 12th place, and got some serious work to do to pick up some big points at the moment. Look, it's a long season, anything can happen, but at the moment, what you don't want to see is Rose's taking the lead back of this race, and that's going to be a devastating thing to see if you're Rapid F1, because this is the pretender to your throne. You are the current champion, and this guy is doing all the things that you should be doing to retain the title. And at the moment, Tongo Prof does lose out to Rose retakes the lead of this race. Just as I said, it looked like we're both managing the pace, but now Rose ramping it up, and there is an issue in sectors 1 and 2 that looks to have been cleared now, but I think it was maybe Jesper or Wasted with a little issue, but they seem to be all right now. Let's do a rundown from the back of the pack, shall we? We've lost Binks already in this race. Really early DNF in on lap number 1. Jesper is running in 19th place in the Fezzer. Oh, dearie me, round and round and round. Car pilot there, mate. That's going to change that 5-second gap to something much bigger. Not going too well for Jesper there. Spinning that car. Wasted is in 18th place. 11 seconds up the road from Jesper after that spin. 16 seconds behind Rapid F1. And Rapid F1 had another problem. Now down in 17th place. Has Rapid F1 been in the pits? That's the question. I don't think they have, you know. Actually they have. So, Wasted, Rapid F1. Jesper has quit this race. Is another DNF. So we saw them spin, and now they're gone. So Jesper's gone. Binks is gone. We're left with Wasted, Rapid F1, Moikuli, and Big Balls all have stopped, along with Jay Hartnell. Then we look at 14th. 2.4 seconds up the road is Andre. Andre obviously needs to pit at some stage, running those hard compound tyres. And 1.5 seconds back from Komzar, who is 2.2 seconds back from Jay Hartnell, who is the highest placed already stopped driver. Yeah, I just literally put a series of words together that did not have any place belonging together. Stomper, Romper Stomper, 4.1 seconds is the gap between them and Jay Hartnell. 4.1 seconds is also the gap between them and Liverpool supporting Tristan in a blue and black car. Who would have thought that a Liverpool supporter would be driving around in a blue car? I bet he absolutely loves that. Absolutely loves it. I'm assuming Tristan's a Liverpool fan, but it could mean likes fast cars, to be honest. Super Calgon. When he's not busy making washing machines last longer, he's driving a Mercedes-Benz. He's 2.0 seconds ahead of LFC Tristan. But Tyler going into the pits, that promotes him up to 8th place. You see Tyler just dropping down as Tyler goes into the pits for the first of their scheduled pit stops. It may be the last, but certainly is the first. Joe Lancer, highest placed with a penalty, is 2.5 up from Super Calgon. 8/10 down from Jinxie in 6th place. 2.4 seconds is Jinxie's gap to KVI Tony, who is running well just outside that kind of top 4, top 3. A little bit of work to do for them, and skills down to get into the top 3 at the moment. And there's a penalty for Moikuli. Moikuli. Is that how it's pronounced? No one's told me how it's pronounced yet. Oh, so I'm going to just make something up. Tony is 4.8 seconds back from Skills, Dan. Yeah, is that how it's pronounced? Skills, Dan? 6/10 back. Still crawling all over the back of Nat Packers. As Nat Packers moves the Tongo Prof into the pits. That promotes Skills down. That promotes Nat Packers. And that certainly allows Rose now to open up the gap. 12 seconds Rose's clear of Nat Packers. And Tongo Prof into the pits for the first scheduled stop. So it looks to me that Rose, Nat Packers, Skills, Dan are maybe Jinxie and JJ Lancer as well. Looking to one stop this on the hard compound tyres. Could I hazard to guess? Possibly, possibly not. But we'll soon find out. Sorry, I need to readjust myself. I was leaning far too far back in my chair and at risk of falling off it. As fun as that might be, there's no webcam for you to see it. No £250 for sending it into Lad Bible or equally stupid. So where are we at? We are on lap 16 of 35. We're at the Hungaro Ring, live for Season 5, Round 2 of the Smoking Pirellis Thursday Tier 1 F1 race. Last week we were at Imola. This guy here, Rose, on board with him right now in the Red Bull racing car, the Oracle Red Bull racing car. Won from 3rd place on the grid last week. Very, very comfortable win. Chalking up some big points for Red Bull and some big points for themselves. And this week, Nat Packers improving and up into 2nd at the moment. Does still need to pit though, as does Skills Dan, as does Jinxie. As you can see on there, I mean, I think it's you guys can read, right? Good. Tongo Prof has been in the pits, has come back out on the hard compound tyre. Is Tongo Prof running to the end on those hards? Tucked up there behind Jinxie, going to make this move. Can Jinxie keep Tongo Prof at bay? And we've lost Tristan from this session. Was that a disconnection? That is devastating. Tristan was starting to make some big moves forward, and has disappeared. Is it because he's just discovered there's a Liverpool fan who's driving a blue car? As we see Tongo Prof under braking, making a great move past Jinxie, and that's another place gained, and a good position for Tongo Prof as Jinxie still hasn't pit. So going back to Tristan, this must be devastating. When we look, Binks, he went out on lap 1, but at least you hadn't put any significant time into the race to go out that early. Jesper had a couple of crashes, a couple of stops already, clearly wasn't going well, so maybe a blessing in disguise that it is a DNF. But Tristan was doing okay, running really well, just the one stop, looked to be knocking on the door for some decent points today, but no, wasn't to be. And Tristan is gone. Rose leads this race by 13.2 seconds. The gap just eking bigger and bigger and bigger. Nat Packers, second place with Skills Dan still within that DRS zone. Skills Dan has been a right nuisance to Nat Packers today. Nat Packers not been able to build up any kind of pace and chasing, because you're constantly aware of the car behind. Although now, with Skills Dan pulling into the pits, does this give Nat Packers a little bit of breathing room? Do we start to see that 13.5 second gap to Rose come down? Now Nat Packers hasn't got to think about defending. As Tongo Prof, who's up into third place, fastest lap in the race with a 1:19.125. If I got that right, I'm a fucking ledge. I don't think it was. But 2:15. It was close though. Close, right? Get me. No, there we go. So, big movers and shakers. Nat Packers up 7 places into second. Does still need to pit, as does Rose. Tongo Prof has pit down 1 place. When Rose and Nat Packers go into the pits, it's going to be darn close, partner. Darn close. Jinxie up 2 places into 4th. Tyler up 5 into 5th. That's a big gain for Tyler. 3 second penalty hanging over their head at the moment, but the gap is good. Skills Dan comes back out of the pits in 6th place here at Interlagos. Not Interlagos, we're talking about Hungary. Why do I think it was Interlagos? Oh, that's because the one race later is at Interlagos. I was thinking about Interlagos because I love it. I love it a lot. So I think I saw a Brazil flag in the crowd, to be fair, and it threw me off. G.A. Hartnell, 1.8 seconds back, started 7th, is 7th. Can't get much worse than that, can you? That's exactly what you want to be. That is essentially doing your job. Tongo Prof with another fastest lap. Someone is on it. Nat Packers into the pits. Jinxie and Tyler can't go. Nothing to give Tongo Prof. He's closed down Rose 2/10 of a second. Jay Hartnell dropping down as we see Tony moving through into 7th place. So here we go. It is Tongo Prof really closing down now on the back of Rose. Nice, fresh, hard compound tyres for Tongo Prof. Nice, worn, medium tyres for Rose. And it's going to be in trouble very soon, the way that Tongo Prof is driving. Doing a really good job. Just reeling them in. Apex after apex. Nice big gap behind. Got nothing to worry about behind. Only concerned with chasing and catching that car in the lead. There he's wasted out at the back of the pack. Stomper, Tristan, Jesper and Binks all did not finish. And to be fair, Binks hardly even started. That should say HES. Hardly even started. Rapid F1. There are no words. There are no words to describe how badly it's going for Rapid F1 at the moment. And there are words to describe it by saying it's not going well for Rapid F1. But I think you guys know what I mean. Maybe a little back to the drawing board, a little play, some settings. Maybe do something a little bit less taxing to build confidence again. Komza, 12 seconds ahead right now of Rapid F1 in the AlphaTauri car, of course. JJ Lancer running in 13th place, 0.6 of a second behind Andre, who's gained 5 places in that Haas, and 1.6 seconds behind Super Calgon in the AMG Mercedes Patronas. Supecto Patronas. That's basically Harry Potter for I want a Merc. Jigsy, 2.8 seconds back from Moikuli, as Rose, first driver to go sub 119. Rose laying down the gauntlet. He saw Tom Prof go fast. He said, Tom Prof, go faster, because the only way you're going to catch me is if you go sub 19. And as yet, not been done by anybody else, I don't think. Moikuli running in 10th place, 2 places gained. Possibly. It's already a 2-place game for Moikuli, but possibly in that Ferrari getting a chance to close in on big balls at some stage. 4.9 seconds is the gap, but you never know. You never know, do you? Jinxie lost 4 places down to. Hey, it's not up into anything if you lost places. You bellend. It's up. No, it's not. It's down. Jinxie is 3 places down in 9th place. Super Calgon up 6 in 10th. Jojo Lancer has lost 6 places with a penalty as well, down in 11th. Andre, 5 places gained, up to 12th place. Komza, qualified 13th, is 13th. Tomorrow is Friday the 13th. I know someone's got 13 fingers and 2 hands. No, I don't really. One of those is a lie. It might be the last one. Moikuli, 3 places lost, down in 14th. Penalty there for them as well. Rapid F1, 11 places lost in that Mercedes. And I'd want a Mercedes if I was driving that badly. I'm talking about, I fucking drive that badly all the time. Ignore that, because I always drive like that. Penalty for wasted, 29 seconds back, but hanging it out there. Ghosted out so people can get through under blue flag conditions. 2.7 seconds is the gap back from Rose to Tom Prof. It was a lot closer. Tom Prof was looking to put the screws on Rose. Not worked out that way though, to be fair. Rose has opened up the gap again, 2.8 seconds, and looking darn comfortable. This is the way you win championships though. You do what Tom Prof is doing. You stick in there, you sit with that race leader. Give yourself the best possible opportunity. Anything can go wrong, car could break down, tyres could go on the last lap, run out of fuel, anything can happen. So you make sure you stay in it to win it. There's Tyler running in 3rd. We haven't spoken much about Tyler. Gained 7 places and begun a bang stand-up job in the AlphaTauri to float around that top 3 after gaining 7 positions. Doing really well there as well. Nat Packers, they're in 4th place. It is 3.7 seconds behind Tyler. It is a 5-place gain from qualifying. And we are looking at a yellow flag in Sector 1. Who is it and where did you crash? Doesn't look serious. Is it a slowing car? No, it's not. Not in the slightest bit serious. Skills Dan, still like a thorn in the arse of Nat Packers, because the whole race, even when everybody else has opened up little gaps to each other, Skills Dan has basically sat in there with a mechanical pin, pinning the tail on the back of that Haas, just trying to find a way through. But at the moment, Nat Packer's doing everything right and just putting the car in all the right places. So Skills does not pinning anything on the back of anyone's car right now. Unless, of course, Nat Packer slams on the ankles unexpectedly. He might be planting his front wing on the back of that car. But he's better than that, of course he is. Tony looking at that battle up ahead, wishing they could be involved. 2.7 seconds is that gap, 2 places gained. But it's not enough as it stands for a top 5 place. Not that anyone cares about 4 and 5 because they don't get to go up the steps. They get to go home and watch people go up the steps. Big balls. That was a statement. And then we talk about Big Balls himself. 6.2 seconds back. But at the moment, shooing for driver of the day with 11 places gained. Who would have thunk that at the start of this race? Jinxie, right, Jinxie. 2 places lost, 5.8 seconds behind Big Balls though. And racing well at the moment. Jay Hartnell, 4.1 seconds is the gap to Jinxie. What else was there? Lost 2 places so far, Jay Hartnell, but still is not that top 10. Washing machines live longer, super cow gone. It's gained 6 places. I'm acutely aware that it's not just English people who've seen that advert, or British people that have seen that advert, that will watch these streams. And there's some people out there going, what the f is he talking about? That's absolute rubbish. It's an advert from the UK, and it's not even a very good advert. It's just a bog standard advert. But it's got the same name as the product in the advert. Pretty much it. Don't need much, to be fair. I probably could have found it with a less tenuous link. J. Joe Lancer. Does the J stand for jumping down the order? I don't think it is. Could be. Could be utterly wrong. But I don't think that. 6 places lost. Less than a 10th behind Super Cowgirl. Is there a move on? Is JJ Lancer going to start to make little inroads? Well, it's certainly chipping away at the time there of Super Cowgirl, but are they able to capitalise and get that car past? Just having to hold off. Spin. That's what happens. You're stuck in the dirty air of the car in front, and you get a bit of slipstream. It just unsettles your car. And whatever JJ Lancer was planning, it's not going to happen now. Only lost 1 place though. Andre is through. 6.5 seconds though, with 6 places gained to Super Cowgirl. Comms are still where they qualified 13th place. Rapid F1, 10 points. 10 places lost. 14th place. Muy Truly, 15.5 seconds back from that. And wasted 14.2. Right, so leader of the race, there is Rose. 3.8 seconds is the benefit at the moment for Rose. We're on lap 27 of 35. Only a few. And we've got another DNF. That's JJ Lancer after that spin. Is another did not finish, taking us down to just 16 runners. But we're on board right now with Rose in the Red Bull. Red Bull Rose. And they are going for 2 wins from 2 races. And at the moment, it doesn't look like anyone's got anything to offer in terms of taking this guy on. It's 3.8 seconds back to Tongo Prof. Tongo Prof did lead the race for a while, but at that time, Rose was just managing the pace, was toying with Tongo Prof. But Tongo Prof was a little tiny mouth, and Rose was a little devious little cat. But now Rose's off and just been off up the road. Tongo Prof, though no slouch himself, is 12.7 seconds clear of Tyler, who's rounding out the top 3 right now. Let's have a look what tyres people are on to finish this race, shall we? There we go. That is what people are finishing this race on. Rose on the medium tyres, going to be very difficult. Those hard tyre runners to get any inroads there. Tyler also on the hards, trying to chase down Tongo Prof. Now, the gap to Nat Packers is 1.7 seconds. That's what I want. So that is Nat Packers trying to chase down Tyler. Tyler's in the full speed half carry. Nat Packers in the hards. And hards drives cars. And they'll slow right down for the safety car. And the safety car is for Super Calgon. Where is Super Calgon crashed? There, Super Calgon crashed. You can't park that there, mate. Here goes Mully Cully. Where's going to find Super Calgon in a minute. He's going to come round here with a little sign there. And he's going to go, where's that Merc? There he is, right in the middle of the road. Silly place for a Mercedes-Benz. Can't park that there. Drive-through penalty for Rapid F1. And Rapid F1's woes are just getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know what the answer is. Who knows? Has everybody just improved that much? So safety car picks them up. This will be a bit of a boon for those. I was going to say for those hard tyre runners behind, but Tyler Nat Packers, Skills Dan, who's been all over Nat Packers all day. KVI Tony, Big Balls, Jinxie, Jay Hartnell, and Andre all have switched under the safety car onto soft tyres. Now, anyone that watches LNR will know what happens when somebody switches onto soft tyres while everybody else around them doesn't. And the current championship leader over there, it demonstrates exactly why he's a champion, because he grew some big balls and put on some softs when nobody else would, and absolutely thundered through the field to luckily for the driver out front. Well, he did win the race. He didn't win it on track, but the guy in front had a penalty and he won it that way. So we are on lap 29.35. Rose going into the pits now, but Tongo Prof is going to go through. Now this is the thing. No, Tongo Prof follows him in. Does this promote Tyler to the lead of this race though? Has he got in too late? That's the question. I think Rose and Tongo Prof are a lap too late into the pits, or are they? Where are they? They are still in the pits. Tyler through, Nat Packers through, Skills Danny's through, Tony is through. If Rose wants to win this race, in fact, he's going to have to beat 5 cars now, not 4, because Rose is behind Big Balls as well. So that is some serious work to do for Rose and Tongo Prof. They were running in P1 and P2. Now they're running in P5. No, they're not. They're running in P6 and P7. And every car in front of them is on the soft compound tyre. They're all going to be going for it. The complexion of this race changes like that under a safety car. And that's the beauty of F1. Safety car changes everything. And that's where we're at right now. Tyler in the lead from Nat Packers. Skills Dan, who's been crawling all over the back end of Nat Packers since pretty much the first lap. Are they finally going to make their move and try and take that second podium position? Tony won't want to finish outside the top 3. Did last time out. Seized an opportunity to do it this time, but has to get past at least one out of Skills Dan, Nat Packers or Tyler. Big Balls obviously no slacks themselves. They're tucked up behind Tony at the moment. But the man to watch is going to be Rose. The men to watch, Rose and Tom Go Prof. Because both of them are super quick. But they've got, I think they've given themselves a lot of work to do in what's going to be essentially a 4-lap race. And they must be crying out for this safety car to go in. And it's not coming in this time. It's staying out for one more lap. So lap 31 of 35 is under safety car. Well, what can we say? And Tyler with a penalty. This is how it stands. So Tyler's got that penalty. Let's have a look at the penalty actually. Where is it? 3 seconds. So that's the drive-through penalty for Rapid F1. All the way back down to 12. Feeling your pain, man. Feeling your pain. I'm not really, I don't have to do drive-through penalty. And because I'm on Black Flag TV, I'm always a winner. Tyler, 3-second penalty. That, if nothing changes, puts him outside the top 3. Simple as. So, a lot of work for Tyler to do. Tyler needs to not only open up a gap from that pack, but open up a 3-second gap to win this race. Safety car is still out. It is lap 31. We finish this race, it will be 32, 33, 34, and then 35. Just those 4 laps remaining, and then we will have a decided winner here. And of course, 20 minutes from now, we move from F1 to GT racing, straight to the Rivals competition on GT7, which is between the it's Mitsubishi versus Subaru. 2 teams, 2 cars, as many drivers as you can possibly fit on the track. And there is a Constructors' Championship, there is a Drivers' Championship, and there is also a Team Championship. But there we go. Safety car is in this lap. Let's go on board with Rose, the current show. Let's go on with Tom Go Prof, because Tom Go Prof is going to want to try and get the jump on Rose. Now it's all down to Tyler. Tyler now decides when they go, when they stick. Safety car peels off to that right hand side, into that lane, taking into the pits. We'll see them round this corner very slowly. Tyler backing them right up. When is Tyler going to pull the trigger? Not yet. No. Going to wait. He's going to come through this turn. And we're actually probably going to get 2 laps of DRS. Don't know when they're going to get the power. I would imagine now. And they all seem to be getting on the power. And yes, they do. And we are underway again. Lap 32 of 35 here at Hungaroring. Sparks flying off the back of that Red Bull. And there's going to be sparks all over this racetrack soon when they all start battling for position. This is how it looks. If you are Tyler, this is what you can see behind you. Just a big gaggle of cars all vying to take you on. And Skills Dad has made that move. He's been so desperately trying to do all race on that Packers and moves up into 2nd place. Now chasing down Tyler for the win of this race. Can Nat Packers do anything about it? Can Nat Packers come back and say, you're not having this. I've held you at bay all this time. You're not taking it now. And Rose and Tom Go Prof, head in hands. Well, not really. They'll have their hand on the steering wheel at the moment. But we'll have their head in hands if they cannot, in the next 3 laps, make some sort of move forward. They had track position. Look, don't get me wrong. They would have got caught. They were on older tyres, or old medium and old hard tyres. They would have been in trouble. They would have been swamped by those soft tyre runners. But would they have been swamped to the tune of laps of 6th or 7th place? That's the big burning question. Fastest lap for Tyler, 1:18.0, and needs to chuck those kind of laps in because Skills Dan is trying to close down. The gap's 1.2 seconds. Tyler still needs another 2-second gap to negate that 3-second penalty. So it is lap 33 of 35. Let's do a full rundown while Shizzle's going down, shall we? It is Tyler after the safety car from Skills Dan. 1.2 seconds. Nat Packers 8/10 back, with Tony now crawling all over the back of her, trying to find a way through. Big Balls is 3/10 back from Tony. Rose 2/10 back. Rose was in the lead of this race, pitted a lap later than probably should have done, as did Tom Go Prof. They are 6th and 7th. Jinxie 2.1 seconds back. Best of the car and the rest at the moment, I think. Jay Hartnell 5/10. Or half a second, as you probably know. Same for Andre. Almost half a second for Moy Gully with a 3-second penalty. Wasted also with a 3-second penalty. Both those penalties are wasted because they're going to make a blind bit of difference. 7 seconds back is Comsha. And Rapid F1 is going to need to change his name if it continues like this to Average F1. Sorry, man, but it's not going well. And we now have DRS. And when the crowd say bowl, overtake. That's what we've got. DRS. It's 3-second penalty for Tyler. Only 9/10 ahead of Skills Dan. If Skills Dan stays in that DRS zone, it's going to get a little bit feisty in well, there's only one DRS zone here, so we've got a while to go yet. So it needs to stay in there. What about Nat Packers? Nat Packers is just one place further back, 1.3 seconds. Got to make up 3/10 to get any chance of some DRS. And I'll tell you what, Tony is close, real close, closer than close, and looking to make a move. And I'll tell you what, under DRS, that move is big time on, being that close to the back of Nat Packer's car. Big balls, 3/10, 4/10, not quite close enough. Just needs to get a good run through that DRS detection zone. As does Rose, who at the moment should be a bit more concerned about what Tomko Prof is going to do behind. So Tomko Prof at the moment is going to be at the back of a 5-car DRS train. If Nat Packers can't latch onto the back of Skills Dan, of course. So this is what's going to happen. They're going to come around this corner. We're going to hear the beep for DRS, and that back wing is going to open. And none of them are going to benefit from this, or not much anyway. So there it is, DRS wing is open. And who's under pressure? Now Packers under big pressure. Here goes Tony up into 3rd place. Can he get the car slowed down? He can, and he makes that move up into the top 3. Skills Dan is 1.5 seconds up the road. We are on lap 35 of 35. It's the last lap here at Hungaroring, and Tyler holding on for dear life. This is the view. This is how close they're going to finish, and it's not often you get a race where everything is this close. And at the moment, though, no matter what Tyler does, Tyler is going to finish, I think, outside the top 3. So Big Balls potentially ahead of Rose at the moment is looking at taking 3rd place. That's the fastest lap for Rapid F1. We know Rapid F1's got the pace, just doesn't have the luck at the moment. In fact, I would argue that Rapid F1 has such bad luck at the moment that if he fell in a bucket full of boobies, he would come out sucking a bald sweet. That's how bad things are going. So Tyler is going to win this race and then not even finish in the top 3 because of that 3-second penalty. So here he comes round that final bend into the start-finish zone. He will cross the line. He will take the checkered flag and then immediately move down the order. Skills Dan takes the win from Tony. Big Balls into the 3rd podium place. Rose loses out, finishes in 4th, and Tomko Prof tucks in behind Tyler after that penalty. So only the top 4 benefited from Tyler's penalty. Tomko Prof in 6th did get ahead of Nat Packers. Nat Packers just dropped well off that pace towards the end. Jinxie in 8th place. It was Jay Hartnell in 9th. Wasted 10th. Moikuli finished in 11th place. It was Andre in 12th. 13th was Komsha. And unfortunately for Rapid F1, the reigning champion, it's just not gone well, and 12 seconds back, and that's where he finishes. TJ, if you tell me to hurry, I'm going to go slower. It takes as long as it takes. Your qualifier's not due to start for another 10 minutes, mate, so suck it up. That's you, TJ, big balls. Right, there we go. There's your final running order. It is done. It is dusted. That is race number 2 done. There is your winner. We thought it might be Rose, but it didn't happen. It did not happen. And instead, we've got a Williams. And we said Williams needed points today. How about that? We asked Williams to provide us with some points, and they absolutely did. Right at the very last. Chuck some points on the board. And now there is nobody in that Constructors' Championship on nil points. What a finish that was. What a bloody finish. You've got to feel for Rose and Tomko Prof. That safety car just fell at the wrong time for them. They didn't get in quick enough to change to the soft tyres that everybody followed them. And shizzle was done. So there's your final running order. It's Skills Dan from KVI Tony. Big Balls, Rose finishes in 4th in the end. Outside the top 3. Tyler from Tomko Prof. Nat Packers. Jinxie, Jay Hartnell, Wasted, Moi Kuli, Andre, Komzar, Rapid F1. Ufinu and where I think that was it in terms of finishers. Rapid F1, yeah, Rapid F1 was the last of the finishers. Then Super Calgon, JJ Lancer, Stomper, Tristan, Jesper and Binks, who we lost on lap number 1. All were DNF. Well, I'll tell you what a goddamn race that was. Thank you very, very much for joining me for this. And if you want to watch more racing, stick around, because in a minute we're going to be joining Black Flag for some Black Flag rivals, Evos versus Subarus. Going to be awesome, awesome, awesome. Catch up with you later, dudes. It's been highly emotional